Master of Photography is an extraordinary photographic contest. Thousands of candidates from across Europe applied. Only 12 were chosen.
I couldn't imagine myself as anything but a photographer.
8 weeks, 8 different challenges to master in order to win the first and largest competition open to amateurs and professional photographers.
The challenges face me with different genres, which makes me nervous.
In each episode, a world-famous photographer mentors the contestants.
Looking back to childhood, but through adult eyes.
Judging the pictures, 3 leaders in the world of photography. Oliviero Toscani.
No concept, no author, no photographer.
Simon Frederick.
It's the first time that I've seen a piece of work that's actually surprised me.
Ruth Blies Luxembourg.
I think you have to be a bit more daring.
Sorry, no, everyone, right here! Each week, one contestant is eliminated, losing their chance to win the biggest prize ever for a photographic competition, 150,000 euros.
You ready? Never give up.
Who will master all 8 challenges? Who will be crowned Sky Arts Master of Photography? One, two, three, four, five, 6. 6 left. Congratulations. Martha, you are the youngest. What was the task or the situation that helped you grow as a photographer?
In the task of London, the situation was not very good, but I tried to express how I felt in that moment through the image. This is one thing I learned.
The flexibility.
Yeah, not have something fixed in your mind, and because
you have
my
to adapt
idea,
quickly,
yeah.
think on your
Yeah,
toes. Is that what we say? Well, now you're going to learn what is your new task. So good luck and welcome to judges.
Welcome back, photographers. There are only 6 of you left now. If you've not yet shown yourself, this is the time to do so. In today's task, we are asking you to photograph a landscape.
You will be flown to Ireland, to County Kerry.
Same landscape, 6 different point of view. That's how it has to be.
In some assignments, we saw work, could have been the same work from the same photographers. Now, for me, that won't be acceptable anymore. Okay, guys, learn from the masters and let these works inspire you. This is a photo by Vittorio Sella, a great photographer, explorer, and mountaineer. It was taken in the Alps. Thanks to him, for the first time ever, the world was able to see mountains that had never been photographed before.
Here we have a work by Axel Hütte, a great landscape photographer. And through the reflection, Axel Hütte creates this connection between nature, landscape, human intervention.
And this is one of the great pictures of Franco Fontana. Actually, it's not landscape photography. This is a self-portrait. He's going much further than taking a picture of nature. He goes and composes his soul, his feeling, his sensitivity. And so that's what you have to do when you are in front of nature. Now, Franco Fontana will be here, helping you to solve your problem with the relation with what is in front of you.
From the previous task, you should have learned not to fall within the conventional trap. County Kerry might be misleadingly beautiful, that you easily fall into that trap, so be attentive.
Landscape photography is as much about the light as it is about the textures that you see, okay? So, choose wisely, think wisely. Photographers, it's now time for you to go and collect your equipment from the kit room.
It's a telelens. Let's see if I will use it because I guess landscape. I would probably go for some wide angle, but maybe I see something in the distance where I can't go, so it could be useful.
You photograph landscape.
Well, Ireland is also a very cultural landscape. Ireland has a history which is incredible. And is that history visible in the landscape? Yes. Will they be able to show that?
I will go for mirrorless camera because of the average of the zoom. I will also take a big zoom and a monochrome. For me, it's a perfect camera for the dual landscape.
You're not interested in a landscape of just a beach or jungle?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Stupid people see beauty just in the beautiful things.
Okay, well, let the task begin. The photographers will travel to County Kerry on the west coast of Ireland. Few places in the world can match the incredible diversity and complexity of the Irish landscape. This romantic and epic landscape with emerald hills, unpredictable weather, wild surf and rugged coastline has inspired artists for centuries. Winter is a good time for landscape photography, as the days are short and the sun stays low in the sky all day, which means beautiful light. In this harsh environment, our photographer will face extreme contrasts in light and colors, and exposure will be one of their main challenges. The contestants are asked to present to judges only one picture that best represents their interpretation of landscape. The judges were clear they don't want to see predictable postcards. The contestants will need to add something of themselves in their landscape photographs.
That's perfect what I was looking for.
To make them unique.
Or if you put it that way, it would look like roots.
What will that be? The night before the task, the photographers are staying with their fixers.
There's someone at the door.
Hello.
Hello.
Their local knowledge and advice will save time looking for the perfect locations tomorrow.
Welcome, our competitor.
Nice
Good to see you. Come inside.
Okay. I saw these black rocks at beaches.
Yeah,
and
okay, so we can drive onto this island.
I want to be able to get up there and see it as I'm looking at it, as opposed to trying to stand off and take a picture of something.
What they're looking for is kind of dead trees and, you know...
Okay.
Can you show me in the back?
Sure. Well, the best place for this is going to be the National Park.
Could do in the morning is literally drive up there like 5 minutes and you get incredible views.
Okay, yeah.
Tomorrow, we think it's not going to rain. So it's going to be
we
fun.
hope.
I'm just very sick and very tired. I just want to get to bed, and I think maybe just tomorrow morning shortly to have a look on it.
Okay.
In order to catch the best light and make the most of the day,
You hungry?
our photographers have an early start.
How you doing? Good. Do you want to sleep? Like a baby.
Take what you like.
After a good night's sleep, Jan is feeling a bit better. His fixer's wife is a doctor, and after a thorough checkup, she gives him the all clear.
Again, I'm just going to check you before you go, okay?
I had some ideas in the head, but particular strategy, no. I wanted to do not full time, just half time, get one shot and go home and sleep.
13:30, you take the medicine that I have in your lunchbox.
Okay.
We're gonna win.
We're gonna try.
We got told 3 things by our judges, and they said you've got to put your head into it, you've got to put your heart into it, and you've got to put yourself in the picture.
You see that in a woodland there? You can't really see it now, but there's an up at the very top of it where it meets the skyline.
OK, we'll do that then.
OK.
We'd go away with my mum and my sister. They would stay in the campsite or the caravan where we're staying. And me and my dad would go out every day exploring different parts of wherever we were. Just watch your footing coming around here. My dad was always snapping away photography. So my personal aim for this task is to get my dad a picture to put on his wall to say thank you for getting me where I am now, because I wouldn't even be on this show if it wasn't for him. What I'm going to do is put my aperture up to f11, which means it gives me a good depth of field, so you've got an idea of, the distance and everything's sharp. What I'm then going to do is put my ISO right down and slow off my shutter speed. So when I take this picture, as you see how the water's all blurry, so it gives that nice smooth effect and the effect of roughness. Ready?
I wanted to capture the sort of bleak romanticism of that landscape. The landscape isn't as interesting as maybe other parts that we've seen, but the light kind of makes it interesting in this case. It's slightly bright sunlight catching the hills on this side, but then on this side it's really dark, moody clouds. To me, layers is the most important thing in a landscape. As a photographer, the thing you have to add is the layers to the landscape. Okay.
I'm going to the lakes. I hope the reflection in the sun and the water can give me some shots that are not very conventional. In every photographs that I take, I try to be there in somehow. Not literally speaking, but they are pictures that are taken by me, and I want to have that kind of feeling. A postcard could be taken by me or by, I don't know who. So mainly this is the difference between them.
I was looking for the contrast between very dark rocks and sand.
I will get in my nude body and lay between the stones, and the concept is harsh, cold, strong nature against a fragile human body.
Big thing within myself and my personality. I'm really black in every part of my personality.
So, you see? That's the kind of mood that I really like, you know?
Okay.
Dark tenebra.
You were telling the truth.
Yeah. I like this kind of foggy light, low light. It's perfect for my mood. Usually, I totally work in another contest, and the temperature of the color, it's different. Here it looks like everything is a little bit desaturated. It's more blue and green. Usually I'm working on yellow and red, magenta. Hey, Dennis, look at that.
Oh, wow. I knew you'd like this place. Okay, we can go home?
No. Yeah, we can go.
And there is a small waterfall.
Persistence as Jan's goal might be, the appeal of the scenery is stronger.
Okay. You must take your medicine.
Yeah.
Because it is #1.
Simon tells us to always get closer to the subject. For this task, I climbed the mountain, definitely. I dive in the river almost, so I was all wet. I don't think so I can get more closer.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the contestants have spent half a day trying to find their own interpretation of this unique landscape. Each of them has a story to tell, but will they be able to do so in just one photo? Each of them has their own style, but will they be able to put their hearts in their pictures, as the judges asked?
So do you get on with the other contestants, or is there a lot of rivalry?
I mean, it's a contest, so it's normal, no?
Of course, everybody wants to win.
Yeah. There is a couple of guys, very impressive. One is Rupert, the British soldiers. He's a good photographer.
I feel like a mermaid on the rocks, or a merman. Get out of the shot!
Jan, a studio photographer, but he have a kind of sensibility that I really like. Also, the other guys are good. They can do great shots, but this time it's more about think. It's not just, take a beautiful picture. It's also, put yourself inside. We'll see what they can express, You see the last point?
Mm-hmm.
If you can get closer to a place like that, it's perfect.
I'm trying to do something alternative. So just a landscape of this uprooted tree. To me, this is like a landscape in itself.
I was thinking in the relation between the human beings and the nature. I think I want to go to that side.
To that side?
Yeah.
My idea is to make a picture about the relation between the rocks, which are unchangeable, and the human body, which changes constantly.
The remote control didn't work, so I had to go and without socks and without boots. And
did you get any pictures?
Yeah, I have some, but I don't know. I have to see them in the computer and try to do some post-production. But I don't care because I try.
The landscape is not like cup of tea, I think it's most difficult for me so far. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Every picture which I do, I reflect myself, of course. There is no another way. You can't do different. In this picture, I like the small ship, which one is completely stay there alone in the right corner, which one is completely almost forgotten, and a normal person would probably crop it that way. That's what I find in it more interesting. And of course, lighting.
The unpredictable weather and light means that our photographers need to be flexible with their ideas and be quick to change track if necessary.
On the coast, it was super sunny. And I said to my fixer, Susan, no, we can stay here, it's sunny, and I don't really shoot in sunlight. But then again, I found this sand dune with harsh shadows, and suddenly I felt like I should just give it a try and jump over my own shadow and jump into the shadow and make a photo with it. My message with that is really that how fragile humans are in general, not only me, compared to nature itself and how strong and powerful it is.
Yeah. It's scary, mate. Would be a great shot down there. Wow, it's like an explosion. The light is perfect. You can feel the noise and the vibe from the wave.
The light was good?
Yeah, light is perfect, wave is perfect, so just push the button, mate. For a moment, I considered, to present this picture to the judges, but I heard the voice of Toscani say, "Postcard sheet." So I changed my mind.
The sun is slowly starting to set, and our contestants have only 2 hours left to finish the task. This is what photographers call the golden hour, the ideal time to take photos. The light is becoming softer, the shadows stretched. Neil and Rupert are still searching for the right shot.
Ideally, I'd like to shoot just before sunset. Gives you this nice, soft, warm light that, if you catch it at the right time, is very special. It's a bit harder to catch than sunrise because sunrise is more sort of progressive, but obviously, so if I can catch something at that, would be ideal for me.
I'd love to bring my dad back here. It's such a beautiful place, so I think if I win, I'll be booking a B&B and taking my dad for a trip around County Kerry because it's beautiful and I know he'd absolutely love it here. And maybe he can show me off and take a better picture.
Are you happy to just finish now?
Yeah.
I think maybe a porpoise. It's not a dolphin, but it's like a porpoise.
If I present this, maybe I'm out.
I think I got a really diverse range. I think more importantly, I just had a really good time shooting. It's such a beautiful place.
Thanks a lot for today.
You're more than welcome.
It's 6:30. It's time to switch the card, take the cards out, get back, get a warm bath, and a hot cup of tea down our necks.
Done.
That's the winning one.
Yeah. I'm angry.
Angry or hungry?
Hungry, both. Hungry for angry.
What about thirsty?
Yeah, some good Guinness here.
Back in the studio, the photographers are now selecting a short list of pictures from the hundreds they have taken. From that short list, they have to pick their winning photo. So far in the competition, their editing skills have not impressed the judges or the guest photographers.
I was quite intrigued seeing one of your other pictures.
Sometimes leading to eliminations.
The person that will be leaving us is Gina.
The great Italian landscape photographer Franco Fontana is here to offer some help. Born in Modena in 1933, Franco Fontana first approached photography in 1961. His pictures resemble paintings, focusing on colors and geometrical structure, creating a unique style of expression.
Mr. Fontana, you're a great master of landscape photography. Do you think of it also as a cultural landscape?
La fotografia non è la macchina fotografica, la fotografia è il fotografo. Quando fotografo il paesaggio, è il paesaggio che attraverso di me si fa l'autoritratto. Ecco, sono delle straordinarie immagini da calendario. Hai più riprodotto che espresso la natura. Una regola da tenere sempre presente è il cancellare per eleggere e togliere il superfluo per arrivare all'anima delle cose.
At that point, I had this massive, wash of sort of awareness of what the judges had been saying for a while, and I learned at least as much as I had in those 5 minutes than perhaps the whole competition.
Trovo queste fotografie molto interessanti e tra l'altro un po' differenti, no? Sembrano due autori che hanno fatto la fotografia. Non esiste ancora un'identità di linguaggio. Per identità intendo lo stile.
That was the first time I did landscape. So I was trying to do different things and experimental different things and research what is possible.
L'identità ce la trovo abbastanza. E l'identità è quella che conta, È quella che ti fa capire quello che sei. Perché la cosa più difficile della fotografia la fanno tutti. La scimmia ti fa il ritratto se schiaccia 10 volte.
Certo.
Ma non lo fa la scimmia, la fa la macchina fotografica.
Ma lei come fa a selezionare un luogo da esplorare? Appunto?
No, diciamo così, l'ispirazione canta da dove viene non si sa. La macchina fotografica è un feticcio come la penna. Cosa faccio con la Mont Blanc d'oro? Scrivo la Divina Commedia? No, rimango un coglione se lo so.
Certo.
Brucia tutto e salvane una. Bravo.
This is the kind of thing I wanted to do, but I was trying to find it in a place that wasn't right, and it wasn't until I found this location that it was okay.
Qui ti identifichi, dalle altre parti non ti identifichi, però questo è lo spermatozoo che è arrivato, poi deve percorrere la vita e dimostrarlo che esiste. Questo, vedi, dove c'è il piccolo che è più importante del grande, e quando il piccolo diventa grande e il grande diventa piccolo, subentra così una visione magica del mondo. Fotografie fatte col cuore, pensiero e cuore. Non le ha fatte la macchina fotografica, le ha fatte questa macchina fotografica. Anche qui vedo una miscela di immagini. Questa qui è una foto molto interessante, soprattutto da un punto di vista di colore e da un punto di vista d'assieme, insomma, l'ha assemblata benissimo, no? È una foto che io prenderei in considerazione. Saper scegliere è importante. Allora, se io ti chiedessi, scegliene una, quella lì. È una bella immagine, ma sai, è una memoria, un déjà vu, capisci? Non è una foto che rinnova il nudo, rinnova il paesaggio. Cioè, è una bella foto, una bella calligrafia, tutto quello che vuoi, no?
A lot of people have done a similar thing. I think being a déjà vu is not necessarily a bad thing.
Photographers, your time with Franco Fontana is over. Thank you so much, Franco.
Ciao, cara.
Now that the picture is chosen, the photographers can post-produce it using a software that allows them to adjust colors, exposure, and shadows.
On post-edit, what I've done is I cropped it. The initial image had the sky, and it wasn't quite grey enough for me.
Just contrast a little bit the shadow and unsharp a little bit at the highlights.
Time's up.
Welcome back, photographers.
Let's see what you have done.
Marta.
I wanted to express that concept of the nature and the human being that for me also is a part of the landscape because it's inside the nature. That's why I decided to put myself in the picture. I use my body like a symbol, so it can be me, but it could be anyone else.
I don't dislike the picture, but it misses certain balance. The missing is the position of your feet. You've made the photograph, but you can't control the elements in the photograph
it was
because
really difficult.
You're in the photograph.
I think this is fashionable thing to put yourself in the picture, you know. And then second, I can see that you don't control the picture because the feet are not right, the body's not right. I think it's probably the worst you did up to now.
Laura, you are next.
Hello. Normally, I really flee from sunlight, and this was not what I was looking for. But when I saw this scene and saw the shadows eating their way through the sand dune, I don't know, it touched me, and I got a feeling, and that was why I chose it.
Good idea. I'm not sure about the sort of modest top you're wearing. It's between nude, not nude, sort of in between. That's kind of unresolved, I'd say.
You should be courageous, make yourself naked like Marta.
I think that if you continue in this competition, you need to work out which is more important to you, your self-expression in the photograph or your ability to make expressive photography.
Ecco, la trovo curiosa così, ma niente di straordinario.
Gabriele.
That's my postcard from Ireland.
I find it intriguing. You know, I like that you put yourself on the roots of the tree.
Yes, there's a complexity to this image because it confuses me. Is it vertical? Is it horizontal? And that kind of clash between the verticals and horizontals is already drawing me in.
Quest'albero, capisci, l'ha espresso in un modo straordinario che si aggrappa ancora alla vita, vive più l'albero abbattuto che tutto quello che ha dietro.
Grazie, maestro. Never give up. That was the concept. The nature always, found a way to survive.
Yeah, please come up and join us. What I love about the picture is this dimension. It's this cinematic quality.
What's this furry little animal?
Sheep. It's a sheep.
Yeah. Okay. I like that little detail. That to me is almost something that shouldn't be there, but is there and thereby makes the whole scene, throws it off. Unintentionally, maybe.
It's a pity that that little detail didn't become a bigger importance in the picture.
Rupert.
I took this photograph for my father, actually. At the beginning of last year, my dad was diagnosed with liver cancer. He's 72, and he had weeks to live or an operation. He went into hospital and had half of his liver removed, 3 tumours removed. 3 days after, I got a phone call from the hospital saying he was very ill, he'd got pneumonia, and I was to come to the hospital. So my dad used to take me exploring, and one holiday we went to Cornwall, and it rained, and it was foggy and misty, and me and my dad went out every day, him with his camera. We walked miles, we explored the fog, we explored the mist, we looked at beaches, and it turned out to still be one of my best holidays in my life. And this taught me a really important thing in my life, which was to make the best out of a bad situation. And we all know, as photographers and artists, we have to do this on a regular basis. It was this memory of the holiday and the thought that my dad wouldn't be able to do the same with my daughters that got him through that day. And that's him 6 months after taking my daughter Molly to the beach. So this picture means a lot to me and a lot to my father and how strong he is. Sorry.
I congratulate you on the emotion that you have not only shown us here today, but the emotion that you've put into this very beautiful photograph. Throughout this competition, your work has actually become stronger and stronger and stronger. Thank you very much, Rupert. Thank you.
And now, Neil.
I find the Atlantic coast to be very bleak, but also very romantic.
So I find it very formally okay. Nice postcard. But I don't really see where you stand. What are you? Why you take picture?
Yeah, this
Be
is...
a photographer is to be somebody who has got a point of view. Franco.
Questa qui è una fotografia, tra virgolette, oggettiva, no? Fatta con uno specchio. Si fotografa la realtà, alla fine non fotografa niente, no? Devi reinventare, che vuol dire violentare una realtà per renderla immaginaria e nuova.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks. I was taking wide-angle landscapes, and that was my decision and strategy for the day.
I thank our friend Franco, that for sure brought us vision and sensitivity and added value for sure for everybody. Grazie.
It's time for us to gather our thoughts and, as usual, make that all-important decision. We'll be back shortly with our verdict.
You know, there is a big problem here. Nobody's really judging what's happening in the nature. The only one where there is a problem with the nature is this picture.
Let's look at Laura. I mean, this is a very curious representation of Ireland.
I do like this picture, this landscape. I like the atmosphere of it. I think it's bleak, and yes, it is romantic, and there's nothing wrong with romance. Another picture postcard. If it wasn't for the little lamb in the right-hand corner, would we be interested in this picture? What's really important is no one's really talking about the environment here.
No.
Their vision
I'm spying. We're not a spy here.
We're being very deeply philosophical at the moment.
No, we are discussing that nobody's really making a criticism what's going on with the human being and the nature.
Because you're looking at comment to the environment on the political level nowadays, that environment is polluted, it's ruined, and everybody seems to have chosen an image of the environment that it is positive, idyllic. But you've come to a conclusion. You've come to a verdict.
Yes,
That's what to tell the photographers. They're anxious to know.
Photographers, it's time to face the verdict. Some works convinced us, as usual, more than others. And one of the more successful was... Rupert, please stand up. I particularly like this picture. Some would call it romantic, but I would say without romance, there is no passion. But what you're managing to do is actually, for me, create images, especially in this one, that makes me feel something about it. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It meant a lot to me, that picture, and I'm glad the judges liked it as well, because I was kind of worried that they would think, oh, he's just trying to pull the emotional wall over our eyes, and I wasn't. I was, you know, obviously, I put a lot into that picture.
Okay, Gabriele, stand up, please. I really like this picture because your interior landscape, I can see it here. You've been looking for something that really engage the human condition. Thank you for me.
Thank you so much. The last time they judged me confused. I'm not confused. Well, you know, I really know where I'm going.
Photographers, some of you did not return from Ireland with a convincing landscape. And one of the people whose landscape didn't convince us was you, Martha. My only advice to you and to anyone who does that type of photography in this competition, if you're going to put yourself in your photos, make sure you have some way of seeing your details, seeing yourself, so that you can control the details of your photo.
I don't think that my picture was one of the worst ones. I don't know if they made this to push me or just it was because they didn't like it.
There's another work here that failed to convince us, and I'm afraid it's your work, Neil. There is a complete lack of narrative. There's a complete lack of you in the work.
So really the judges don't actually know me very well. They don't feel as that picture and that scene still is a reflection of a large part of who I am.
Photographers, we have come to a final decision. Between the two shots, the least successful was Neil, yours.
Very conventional shot of a landscape. And I think it's a shame because Ireland and the Irish landscape, there are incredible stories within it. And they're not here, I'm afraid.
It's true. Thanks. I feel very relaxed and very content. I feel like this week was my time to go. I think I can understand what my obstacles are. And, you know, until you do that, you can't see how you can get past them. But to be more open as a person, probably, and then that'll allow me to be more open as a photographer.
In the next episode of Master of Photography,
us judges have decided to send you all back home.
But it's a joke or not?
the contestants will have to show themselves and their families new lessons from a master.
There seems to be a periphery between tenderness and violence.
And another photographer will lead the contest.